Before you make the move to Kenosha, there's one question you need to ask yourself. Can you really afford to move here? Truth is, many buyers underestimate the true cost of living here. In this video, I'll walk you through everything that you need to know, from housing and taxes to groceries and gas, so you don't end up over your head. I'm Chad Scott, your Kenosha Realtor. I help people every single week, just like you, buy and sell and invest here in the Kenosha area. If you have any questions at all about buying or selling or investing here in the Kenosha area, give me a call at 262-331-1621 or contact me at any of the other methods that are listed in the description of this video. Now let's jump into it. First, housing costs compared to surrounding areas. Kenosha's housing market remains pretty affordable when you compare it to Chicago, Milwaukee, Waukegan, Gurnee, and other areas like that. For example, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house here in Kenosha will cost you between $280,000 and $350,000. While a similar house in Lake County, Illinois will cost you $425,000 plus with higher taxes also, and higher insurance costs because Illinois has higher property insurance and higher auto insurance in Wisconsin as well. And that leads me to the next point, property taxes. Wisconsin has moderately high property taxes, but Kenosha is often lower than our neighbors in the south, Illinois. For example, a client of mine that moved from Gurnee, Illinois, cut their property taxes by over $3,000 by just moving over the border from Gurnee to Kenosha, Wisconsin. That's a huge savings every year of $3,000. Utility bills. So a lot of buyers, especially first-time home buyers, often forget about utility bills. You gotta pay for your electricity, your gas, your water, your garbage, and other things like that. So the average utility costs, your electricity, your heating, your water, and your garbage, typically for a single family home here in Kenosha, run about $200 to $300 a month here in Kenosha. And it depends on the season, of course. Winter months, that can go up because heating costs in here in Wisconsin tend to jump up in the winter months, especially depending on your home. If your home isn't very well insulated, heating costs can really spike. Like our house here, our house is terribly insulated. Our furnace runs almost nonstop in the winter time. So our heating costs really spike up during the winter time. Thank God for budget billing from We Energies. If not, our heating costs would be astronomical. But that's something that a lot of out-of-state buyers don't always consider when they move here to Kenosha, Wisconsin, is that they don't consider the winter months. They don't consider that during the winter months, we have to pay for heating costs of our houses. People from states like Florida, Arizona, California, they oftentimes don't have to heat their houses during the winter. So they don't think about having to heat their house during the winter. They don't think about having to pay for natural gas and heating costs during the winter. So if you're moving from states like Florida or Arizona, consider that when you're moving here to the Midwest or Wisconsin, or any other state in the Midwest for that matter. If it has a winter time and it gets cold, you may have to heat that house during the winter time. Unless you enjoy the cold and you can stay in a house where it gets 50 degrees or 45 degrees inside, then you probably don't have to heat your house. But then your pipes might burst. Then you have a whole other mess of problems. Transportation and commute expenses. So this is big because a lot of places in Kenosha and the county, they don't have bus services. Kenosha itself and Pleasant Prairie and Summers, they do have city buses that go to and from different areas. But if you're living out in the county, there is no city bus. So a lot of places, even here in Kenosha, most people have a car to travel around in it and commute with. But gas prices are typically cheaper here in Wisconsin than in Illinois, and by a lot. My in-laws live in Illinois, so we go to Illinois quite a bit. So usually I'll see gas prices here in Wisconsin around that lately it's been around that $2.60-ish mark. Then when I go down to Illinois, gas prices are around the $3.70 mark. So it's usually cheaper by about $1. I'd say that's about the average cheaper price. We're usually cheaper by about $1 here in Wisconsin. I don't know why we're that much cheaper. I'm guessing it's because of all the taxes that Illinois puts on the gas prices. But honestly, I don't know the real reason. I could be totally wrong on that. If I'm wrong, leave it down in the comments. Let me know why Illinois is so much more expensive on gas, because I honestly don't know why. I'm guessing it's because of all the taxes. Plus, Wisconsin has no toll roads. If you use the highway, the interstate to get to and from work, Wisconsin has no toll roads, so if you take 94 to get to and from Milwaukee, there are no toll roads. If you travel in Illinois and you take the toll road to get to and from work, those tolls really add up really fast. Sure, they're only 30 cents to get to on the tollway and off the tollway, but that's 60 cents every day, 5 days a week. That adds up really quickly. That tollway is making a lot of money off of you, times thousands of cars every day that uses tollway. The tollway is not hurting for any money. Plus, they're making tax money off of you guys. Illinois is making a lot of money off the tollway system. Wisconsin has no tollways. Our interstate system is 100% completely free. As of right now, anyway. I've seen a bill that they want to put tolls in, but it's not going anywhere, and I don't think it will go anywhere anytime soon. But you never know. We'll see what happens. Our registration fees in Wisconsin are also a ton cheaper. We only pay $85 a year for registration fees here in Wisconsin. I don't know what registration fees are in Illinois, but I believe last I heard they're over $200 for just a regular like 4-door Toyota Corolla or something like that. I don't know again what the registration fees are in Illinois, but here in Wisconsin, just for my regular 4-door Toyota Corolla, it was $85. My wife's Hyundai Tucson, $85. I believe if you have an EV car in Wisconsin, it may be a little bit more expensive. I might be wrong about that. But I know in Illinois, if you have an EV car, they charge you a little bit more for that, like $100 more, because they want to charge you more for the electricity or something like that. Illinois nickels dimes you for everything. Just so you know, I'm comparing everything to Illinois because most of our buyers do come from Illinois. They don't come from other places in the country. Most of our buyers come from Illinois here in Kenosha because it's such an easy move to just come right from our south over the border and escape those higher property taxes, those higher fees, and the higher sales tax, and just go over to Wisconsin. Come to the light side, as I say. So food and grocery costs. So Kenosha offers access to budget-friendly options like Meijer, Aldi, and Woodman's, with cost-effective shopping compared to Chicago or Milwaukee metro prices. Now, honestly, if you're in Lake County has pretty much all these stores too. I don't know if there's a Woodman's in Lake County, because I know a lot of Illinois people that come up here to Kenosha and shop at Woodman's. I know a lot of Milwaukee people that come down here and shop at Woodman's too. There's not a Woodman's between Milwaukee and Kenosha that I know of, and there's not a Woodman's between Lake County and here that I know of anyway. There's a lot of Illinois people that come up here to shop at Woodman's. There's a lot of Milwaukee people that come down here to shop at Woodman's. So that is one of the cheaper options that a lot of people love, is they love to come here and shop at Woodman's. But all these are all over the place. Meijer is all over the place. Walmarts are obviously all over the place, but there's a Walmart also here in Kenosha. So that's not really a huge draw, but Woodman's is here in Kenosha. That's a huge draw for a lot of people. And I know that they're probably not going to put a Woodman's in Lake County anytime soon that I know of. And they probably won't put one anywhere near Milwaukee anytime soon. They are building one in Racine right now. That should be done, I believe, by the end of this year sometime. Kenosha also has a lot of local farmers markets. If you love to shop for local, fresh produce that's farm raised and straight from the farm to the table, local farmers markets that go on all year long. There are even local farmers markets that happen during the wintertime. They're all over the place in Kenosha. Just look on Facebook for them. You can even look in the local newspaper for them. They're all over the place. If you want that farm fresh raised produce, they're all over the place, and they're all over Kenosha. So if you want that, Kenosha is a great place to find them. Healthcare and insurance. So I know that healthcare and insurance is a big deal to a lot of people. You don't want to pay too much for healthcare. We all want to pay less for healthcare. Kenosha and Wisconsin in general is on par with national averages for the cost for healthcare, with pretty much every other state in the nation. So we're not paying any more for healthcare, but we're also not paying any less on average for healthcare than anybody else in the nation. Our healthcare infrastructure here in Kenosha area, in my opinion, is actually really good. We have 2 hospital systems here in Kenosha. We have Freighter South Hospital, and then we also have Aurora System Hospital. They are both here in Kenosha. They both have multiple campuses. They each have a main hospital here in Kenosha. Then they each have satellite doctor's offices and walk-in clinics all over Kenosha, Summers, Pleasant Prairie. There's probably, I don't know, between the two, a dozen or more like little walk-in clinics and doctor's offices and places you can go to for healthcare all over the place. So if you want easy access to healthcare, it is plentiful here in Kenosha. So if that's a concern for you, then Kenosha is definitely here. Kenosha definitely has a nice healthcare infrastructure here in the area. Pretty much anywhere you are here in Kenosha, a hospital is within 5, maybe 8 minutes away from you. So if you get hurt here in Kenosha, Pleasant Prairie area, a hospital is not too far away from you. Now, if you're further out in the county, a hospital is a little further away from you because, you know, the county is just further away from civilization, as I like to say. There's just not as much infrastructure out in the county, and the hospitals just aren't out there quite as much. There is a hospital in Burlington, I believe, and then Kenosha has 2 hospitals. But other than that, there is no hospital out in the county. So, yeah, that's what we have as for hospital out here in the area. And then Racine also has a hospital. So entertainment and lifestyle. So what is there to do in Kenosha? So if you ask any kids, any teenagers, there's absolutely nothing to do here in Kenosha. And I would generally kind of agree with them. If you are a kid, there just isn't much for adolescents to do. There aren't a lot of fun things to do for kids. Our new mayor, David I can't ever pronounce his last name, Bagdalia. He is trying to fix that. He is trying to come up with more fun things for kids to do around Kenosha. And he has a lot of really great ideas, and I think he's going to implement a lot of them. It just takes time for a city to do this kind of stuff, but I think he'll get it done. And I think our kids in the area will have a lot of fun things to do here in the next year or 2, maybe 3. So it just takes time. Kids just have to be a little more patient. Unfortunately, by the time that these things get implemented, some of the kids will be adults by then, but it is what it is. But entertainment and lifestyle, there's lots of dining events, local entertainment. One of my favorite things to do here in Kenosha is the local Kenosha Comedy Club. A lot of people don't know that Kenosha has a comedy club. It is in the Wyndham Hotel, downtown Kenosha. They actually have a lot of really great acts that people don't even know about. Like we're going to see Chris Kattan in April. It should be a lot of fun. I can't wait to go see him. We're actually really excited about it. They get a lot of big name acts there that people don't even realize. Let's see here, what else do they do? And it's actually a lot more affordable than if you go to like Chicago or Milwaukee even. And then Kenosha also has a theater here. So the theater is a volunteer theater. So they don't do like big name productions, but they do a lot of little shows. Like we've gone to see a couple of their shows. Beauty and the Beast was probably one of our favorite shows. It was really well done. The actors and the stage crew, they do a really great job. Considering that they're all volunteers, they don't get paid anything for it. They put a lot of time, they put a lot of work into it. Lakeside Players Club is the name of the actors and the club that takes care of it. And they're all downtown. They perform at the Realty Theater downtown Kenosha. They do a really great job. If you've never been there, check it out. Buy some tickets to a local production. You won't regret it. It's really fun. It's really great, and you'll really enjoy the production. I guarantee it. But as an example of what it'll cost to go out down in Kenosha, it'll probably cost you around $60 to $70, maybe $100 for a really expensive place if you go to like a steak dinner or a supper club down here in Kenosha, versus $150 plus in Chicago for the same outing. So if you're looking to do something nice and fancy in Kenosha on the cheap, versus going to like Chicago or Milwaukee and doing the same thing and spending a lot more money, then Kenosha is probably your place to do it. I hope that you found this video a little informative, a little took away some little tidbits of information from it. My name is Chad Scott. I have buyers and sellers just like you reaching out to me every single week about buying and selling here in the Kenosha area. If you have any questions at all, my number is 262-331-1621. Call or text me anytime. I'm happy to help out any way that I can in a non-salesy, non-pushy way. I'm just here to give you the information that you need. The rest of my contact information is down below here in the description of the video. I hope that you have a fantastic rest of the day and enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you in the next video.